Kick is up, has the accuracy, and it is good. Jake Bates throwing right side, and it's going to be intercepted. Return past the 15, past the 20, out past the 30. Has space down the sideline. 40, 35, 30. And he is gone. A pick six for Houston. Snap good, hold good, kick up. And it is straight down the middle. Looking to throw, rolls out right. Throws end zone. Touchdown San Antonio. Cody Latimer alone in the end zone. They take a 1-point lead with 3 seconds left. 52-yarder, left hash, for the win. Snap good, hold good, kick up, and it's drilled. Miami escapes week 1 with the win. Jason Sanders is looking to throw. Pass right side, wide open. Touchdown Drake London. Touchdown Drake London. Atlanta has tied this game and are an extra point away from taking the lead. Needing the 12-yard line. Handoff, Robinson left side. And going to be stuffed. A loss of 4, maybe 5 on the play. And with 50 seconds to go, the Chiefs have the ball. And most likely that does it. Ball on the 17.5-yard line. Looking to throw. Stepping up, throwing for the end zone. And caught. Touchdown Green Bay. Dontavian Wicks. 56 seconds to play. The Packers are within 3. 6:17 to play in overtime. Tua shotgun, back to his left. 3 receivers to the right, bunched up. Tua to throw. Pass time. Plenty of time. Pass. End zone, left side. Jonnu Smith. Touchdown Miami. They're gonna win. Let's go, baby. Here, back behind him. 3 receiving options to the left. Gonna send Smith in motion. Toss left side for Saquon Barkley. Good blocking and room to run. Pass midfield, spinning his way. Pass to 35 to 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, and the Eagles respond instantly. Saquon Barkley. Oh my, making his presence felt. 1 play, 60 yards, 3rd and 9 from the 35. Mahomes looking to throw. Quick pass left side, caught by Piron. Has room to run. First down and more. Down to about the 17. And he stays in bounds. That will do it. The Kansas City Chiefs have escaped the Bills and have punched their ticket. Hello, everybody, and welcome on in. Week 10 wraps up tonight with a great matchup. Eagles and Packers. This is the first and only game of Week 10 I'm live with because I had friends visiting over the weekend. And it has been a while. It's been a week. And in that time, the Dolphins somehow managed to beat the Bills yesterday. So I am on cloud 9 for today's stream. I'm just looking for a good matchup. I don't care which of these teams win. I got the outcome I needed yesterday. But welcome on in. Kickoff is moments away. I'm not sure if you did or not. Again, this weekend was great. I just didn't really get around to checking a lot of the messages and shit. So, and then like today, I kind of like re-get back into everything. So, I'll check around halftime. Yeah, I just like saw you send stuff. It's just like I was constantly on the move. That's great. Internet back, hell yeah. You know what's not back though? ESPN on YouTube TV. So I'm back on the iPad for this. It's back-to-back weeks. I haven't watched Monday Night Football on an iPad. I used to use this iPad for streams in like the early UFL stuff. It works. It gets the job done. The Packers get ball to begin this game. Going to be returned up past the 25, past the 30, and down near the 35. Finding room actually up near the 40. Oh, gee. What kind of dog was it? I'm a massive dog person. But yeah, it's they can they can be a little bit fierce. Who's gonna step up today for the Packers? That's the question. Love under center. Back behind him, 2 receiving options to each side. First play of the game from their own 39. Love going to hand this off up the middle, and that's Josh Jacobs for about 4. All right. With the injury to Tucker Kraft, they're gonna need someone else to step up in that receiving core, or that pass catcher core. Probably better wording it. I'd imagine he would want to go to like Dontavian Wicks a bit more, but we'll see. Love in shotgun, looking to throw in 2nd and 5. Pressure coming, dump off left side to Josh Jacobs. Is going to have space, a nice stiff arm, and that should be enough for a first down right to midfield. I mean, if it's Josh Jacobs that's going to be the one stepping up, I am here for it. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, next commercial break, I'll take a look at all that you sent. Okay, now what the fuck's going on with this? The joys of having to use. One point, NFL Plus for the graphic for this game for the Phillies using the throwback logo for some reason. I don't know why. It was a give up the middle to Josh Jacobs on first down. Gonna get about 2 or 3 seems. Yeah, gain of 3. For some reason, NFL Plus is using the throwback logo, even though ESPN isn't, and they're not wearing throwbacks. I don't know. Yeah, Sunday was. I mean, so Sunday was definitely up and down. Handoff up the middle. Josh Jacobs can get past the 45 and down to about the 43. I mean, the Vikings didn't look great against Baltimore, but Seattle's continuing to be Seattle. There's that. Yeah, we kind of like cycled through all of the 4 o'clock games because none of them were particularly close. So we watched like the second quarter of Seahawks Cardinals, and yeah, Seattle, man, Seattle is looking great right now. Love in shotgun, back to his right, 3 receiving options to the right with 3rd and 3. Tight end sent in motion, going to hand this off up the middle, and there's Josh Jacobs gonna fight his way. Believe he got enough for the first. Gonna be close. It's just the offense let up on the gas. They didn't really try in the second half because they knew that they had the game covered. QB sneak for Jordan Love on 4th and 1 can be plenty enough for the first down inside the 40 to the 38. I mean, for the third quarter, Miami let up on the gas, and I was ready to be like I was ready for them to choke that game away again, but it was like me and my friends on Saturday were joking about like how quickly into the game we were gonna turn off the Dolphin game. Turned out, we did not at all. Love and shotgun back behind him. 3 receiving options to the left. Handoff up the middle, and it's gonna be about a yard or 2. Yeah, Seattle has really impressed me in this season. I mean, are they the 1 seed currently in the NFC after that? Yeah, it depends on what happens in this game. Love in shotgun, back to his right, 2 receiving options to each side. Going to look to throw in 2nd and 9. Has some time. Trying to roll to his right to buy more. Now stepping left and gonna be sacked. Started rolling right, then shifted left and right into the arms of an Eagles defender. It's gonna be a 3rd and long coming up. Oh, I love Miss Dobbs there. He was open. So 3rd and 20. Love's gonna look to throw. Has time. Deep shot over the middle, and it is gonna be incomplete. Luckily not picked off. Christian Watson to play some defense there against Quinyon Mitchell. And the Packers will punt this one away. Oh, and Mitchell is slow to get up after that. Oh, that's a tough blow for this defense. Quinyon Mitchell has been a stud for them. Yeah, Quinyon Mitchell going down sucks. Yeah. I know. Houston yesterday. Yeah, Christian Watson pretty much played defense the entire time. Houston yesterday surprised me. Like, that 4th quarter was really impressive. Davis Mills somehow is just somehow creates miraculous wins for the Texans. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but that's Stroud being hurt for the foreseeable future messes a lot of things up. And we're at commercial break after the Quinyon Mitchell injury. The Packers will punt it away when we get back from commercial break. Yeah, I hope he's back soon. I mean, the Texans definitely need him to be back sooner rather than later, obviously. But there's like they have a real chance to make a push towards the playoffs now with that win against Jacksonville. Hello, welcome on in. Basically, because I was looking through the playoff stuff today. It's a very low chance. So I'm not like getting my hopes up for this, but Miami is only 2 games back from a playoff spot now. So there is a world. It's highly improbable, but there is a world. Also, Miami just let go like their co-directors of player personnel. So a big shakeup is happening in Miami in terms of front office stuff. We'll see how these final 7 games impacted. They're 2 games back of a playoff spot. Jacksonville has to play the Colts twice, and Kansas City still has to play Denver twice and the Chargers once more. Those are like the 2 main teams ahead of them. It would take winning out, which is highly unlikely. We still have the Steelers, the Buccaneers, and the Patriots to play. But they're only 2 games out. That's why, like, if they could have just handled Baltimore a bit better. All right, Green Bay set to send this one down. After a drive, they got plenty in the field goal range and a bad sack. Green Bay punt comes off clean. Going to be fair caught at about the 8. So the Eagles will start from there. Yeah, it would take Miami winning out, but technically, they're still in it. there's if assuming they beat Washington next week in Madrid, the remaining schedule is in theory not too bad. All right, we'll do. As Jalen Hurts takes the field, we get to see this Eagles offense for the first time after their bye week. There's a lot of questions still surrounding them, more so if they can just get consistent play and more all-around play. And during the bye, they had a game with a really good passing game, and then a game with a really good run game. Not much in the other two, not much in like the vice versa stuff. Gonna hand this off to Saquon Barkley, left side, first offensive play for the Eagles. Gonna get it past the 10 to about the 12, a gain of 3. Also, the Heat are playing right now. They're down by 2 to Cleveland. That's a pretty interesting game. So Hurts in shotgun back to his right. 3 receivers to the right, 2nd and 7. Man in motion right to left. And Hurts going to look to throw. Pass left side going to be caught with some space. And that's a gain of about 6 for A.J. Brown. Up to the 17, going to be a 3rd and 1. All right, 3rd and 1. And here comes the tush push. And they're not saying they're not saying there's okay. Gonna be enough for the first. That looked off. Oh, that's why, because there was false starts. I was like, there really wasn't a false start there. There was 2 of them. Come on. Hurts and shotgun gonna toss this left side and gonna get about 2, maybe 3. That's Saquon Barkley on the carry. Yeah, I was like, that tush push did not look right. And that explains it. It was false starts everywhere. All right, 2nd and 7 coming up. Hurts under center, back behind him. Going to hand this off of the middle for Saquon Barkley. And there's space. Up past the 35, down to about the 40. So 1st and 10. But YouTube is acting up right now for some reason. Gonna give this left side some space for about 4 or 5 there. That is Tank Bigsby on the carry. So 2nd and 5, Hurts and shotgun back to his right. 3 receiving options to the right as well. Gonna send a man in motion right to left. That's Devontae Smith as Hurts looks to throw. Pass left side gonna be off the mark and incomplete towards Devontae Smith. Yeah. YouTube is also being a little annoying right now for some reason. I gotta see if I can do what I need to on here. So a 3rd and 5 coming up. Hurts in shotgun back to his left. 2 receiving options to each side. Gonna send a man in motion right to left. And there's going to be a penalty before the snap. We'll see what they ruled this as. As the refs are discussing. And it's going to be a false start against the Eagles. So a 3rd and 9 coming up. There's a 3rd and 10 actually. Hurts gonna look to throw. Pressure coming, trying to escape to his right, looking downfield. Buying time, throwing right side, gonna be caught and should be enough for a first down there. That is Will Shipley on the reception up to midfield. This is not being... whatever. Just ignore that bot there, because for some reason, no matter how many times I try to hide it, it won't hide. YouTube's being weird. As it Hurts under center, back behind him, 1st and 10. Man in motion left to right. Going to hand this off up the middle, and that's going to be about 2 or 3 for Saquon Barkley. Under 5 minutes to play in the first quarter. So 2nd and 8. Hurts under center, back behind him. Going to hand this off up the middle once again, trying to bounce it outside. And going to be Saquon Barkley up to the 45, a gain of roughly 3. Third and 5 coming up. Like when next commercial break, I'll take a look at everything that I missed. Under 4 minutes to play in this quarter. We got 1 commercial break. And you gotta say ESPN for as weird of business practices they do have, their commercial output is nice. Hurts in shotgun back to his right, gonna look to throw in 3rd and 5. Has time, pass over the middle, gonna be caught and brought down near the 37 as Devontae Smith. 3.5 to play in the first quarter. And just leaving Devontae Smith open over the middle. Not a recipe for success. Hurts in shotgun back to his right, looking to throw. Gonna escape pressure, rolling left. Passing left, gonna be caught along the sideline by A.J. Brown near the 30. Gain of roughly 7. Yeah, ESPN is in such a weird spot right now. Because, like, again, they do some things right, but like the bulk of their shows aren't interesting. And then now, like with the whole like Disney and YouTube TV stuff going on, it's just not helping. Handoff up the middle on 3rd and 3, and the pile will get pushed just past the first down marker. Gets up to roughly the 26.5 when they needed the 27, and that's Saquon Barkley for a first down. Because like I feel most people are like have the same idea of like mid 2010s, late 2000s, even like mid 2000s. ESPN is like the peak of it, because I remember watching a ton of ESPN during that time. And then I kind of didn't. Then I kind of fell out of a bunch of the other sports, and I shifted focus primarily to NFL Network. But still, Hurts under center, back and fullback behind him. 1st and 10 from the 26 ish. Going to play action and look to throw. Hurts rolling left. Has plenty of time. Not going to shift right. Still looking. Still rolling. Passing going to be incomplete. A throwaway. Had plenty of time though. And the Eagles have been killing a lot of clock on this drive. Yeah, receivers are slipping on this Lambeau turf right now. The weather seems fine though. It's probably just cold. Hurts in shotgun, back behind him. 3 receiving options to the right. 1 man sent in motion, right to left. Going to hand this off right side. And that's Saquon Barkley for probably 2 yards they're going to give him. Up near the 25. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing with piracy. It's just it's convenient, but there's that stigma surrounding it. And then like with the YouTube TV thing, they're also like losing 5 million a day. The longer each day it's off of each day they don't get coming to an agreement, so they're just losing a ton of money. Hurts alone in shotgun, looking to throw in 3rd and 8. Now going to take it up the middle. The delayed QB draw that gets inside the 15, and ball comes loose. Green Bay has it. Being returned past the 30, 35, and out of bounds to the 40. As it stands, is a Hurts fumble recovered by the Packers. Well, this is going to be reviewed. It's close. 50 seconds remain in the quarter. And that was a fantastic drive from the Eagles. That might end with nothing. That's a fumble. That's a beautiful peanut punch from Edgerrin Cooper. And the Packers defense gets a massive turnover inside the red zone. Hurts is laying on top of Xavier McKinney. He's not down, and Edgerrin Cooper comes in and just punches that thing out. And they get a good return about. That is a great play. Yeah, they're more expensive with because ESPN is trying to get like the ESPN Plus and all these other things. I know they just like canceled ESPN Bet basically, but still it's like on top of all of that. Yeah. Yeah, they need to get the stuff done soon. Which I think that they will come to an agreement by Saturday. They feel like they need to. It just probably won't be a great agreement in terms of like ESP, in terms of like, you know, the consumer getting screwed for it. That was a 16 play drive for Philly that spanned 77 yards and ends in a fumble. A 16 play drive that ends in nothing. Yeah, exactly. And it's like it's that same way with like the NHL and the NBA for me. Now, like, obviously, if they create like their own Sunday ticket type thing, I probably would lean towards wanting that just because to me it kind of is more convenient. But for right now, like I'm fine using the other shit. Hell yeah, that's great to hear. Also, yeah, commercial break. Let me check these emails real quick. That K-pop Demon Hunters crossover one is great. That one looks great. Yeah. That Denver Las Vegas game, that that was just not a fun game to watch. I can't. Only way I was able to get by that was because we were out to eat and we had that on in the background. Just coming back from the commercial break, Love and Shotgun and back to each side, going to hit. Oh, it bobbles the exchange, and Love falls on it. Luckily, yeah, that Broncos Raiders game was shit. And then yeah, you did cook with that image. So 2nd and 13, Love and Shotgun back to his left, 2 receiving options to each side. Man in motion left to right. As the play clock winds down, Love gonna look to throw. Quick pass right side is tipped at the line and incomplete. 5 seconds remain in the quarter. Yeah. And that's how it be sometimes for pretty much any field. So sometimes you take a I'm trying to word this. Like with me with like math and statistics, I'm taking like stuff that's used for like proper business and stuff, and I've made like, and I'm working like 5 different videos for that surrounded for trying use those things but for football for no reason. Love looking to throw in 3rd and 13. Rolling right, trying to buy some time. Still looking, not going to take it himself. Love pass to 40, 45, and it will depend on the spot. Going to be just short, but gets about 12. That Titans Texans one's nice. As we're heading to a commercial break after that as well. So like commercial break. Hell yeah. Alright, so like commercial break. Yeah, keep cooking with the art. I love seeing all that shit. Especially again, because today was a little different with everything, but typically, like, again, I make sure I see them like first thing after I get out of my final class today. So it's a nice like I see the art kind of just like get out of that class and cool headspace, and it helps me like kind of like shift focus. It's nice. I appreciate it. Yeah, keep cooking with all that. Because we're still at commercial break. They're taking. I missed them. They're taking their time with this commercial. Oh, that's why it's the end of the first quarter. That's why it was commercial break in the first place. Okay. So wait, start of the second quarter on the way here soon. And yeah, Love is gonna be just short of the first. They have the room for another QB sneak. The offense is staying on the field for it. 4th and 1. Oh, that's Love under center. Back behind him, 3 receiving options to the left. The 4th and short. There's the QB sneak, and Jordan Love gets it with ease, but it's going to be coming back due to a false start. So a 4th and 6, and the Packers will punt. So the trade in one player. That's the one reason why I kind of wish I was live Thursday so I can discuss it before the Buffalo game. But trading only Jalen Phillips at the deadline to me is fine. I would have liked to see another trade or two, but at the same time, we have an interim GM. The owner is going to have a lot of say in what the trade market is going to look like for the team, especially at the deadline. So it's probably the case of Stephen Ross told Champ Kelly, these are the 5-6 players you're willing to shop around or you're able to shop around, and these are the bare minimum prices you're allowed to accept for them. And simply put, no team offered those prices for anyone but Jalen Phillips, so nobody was moved. We might see more moves after the season during the off season when the new GM is here. But depending on how the final 7 games go for Miami, we could be talking about a fire sale or a retooling and running it back. It's really just a who knows until the new GM comes in and the season ends. Well, Chubb is still under contract, so he might be back if the new GM thinks he can be, or you just trade him then and you probably get the similar value to him as you were being offered at the deadline. Because Miami was probably asking for a 3rd or 4th, and teams were offering a 5th or 6th. You probably can get those same deals in the off season. Because assuming Chubb stays healthy, and he's still a quality player, alone that Buffalo game alone probably increased his value a small bit. So it's a whatever thing. I wasn't expecting any massive deals anyway at the deadline, so I'm not upset. Handoff up the middle on 1st and 10 for Philly. Gonna get a loss of about 3 there. Looking for Saquon Barkley to do something, but instead Quay Walker says no. Because again, part of the other truth is with how Miami handled the deadline, Stephen Ross still firmly believes in Mike McDaniel, and that win against Buffalo only served to prove Ross's point. So you don't want to do a fire sale when you still have who you believe a head coach you can win with and a roster that you still believe is talented. Dump off left side to Saquon Barkley for halfback screen is going to lose about a yard or two. So a 3rd and long coming up. I don't know how we managed it either. So my friends arrived late yesterday. Otherwise, we probably would have turned the game off after the first drive. But instead, I kept it on. I was like, okay, I'll wait for them to get here and they can decide after watching a little bit of it. By the time they arrived, it was right after Jalen Waddle had that big touchdown. So the game was staying on the rest of the way no matter what. Hurts in shotgun back to his left, 3 receiving options to the right. Gonna hand this off right side for Saquon. Trying to find some space up past the 20 and brought down near the 24. Not enough for a first down. And the Eagles go 3 and out. And actually, that was Will Shipley on the carry. Oh, we had a blast watching it. I mean, again, it's not every week you get to see the Dolphins have a game like that, especially against Buffalo. So we firmly enjoyed it. The 3rd quarter was like, okay, when are we gonna blow this? But for the most part, like we enjoyed it. Anytime you can beat Buffalo and beat them like that, it's gonna be a fun watch. Punt comes off clean, going to be returned beginning from about the 10. Has zoom out past the 20 and down to about the 22. There's Romeo Doubs on the return. I don't think Allen is gonna win MVP this year. The thing with the Bills is, and this has been a talking point with them pretty much the entirety of Josh Allen's tenure, and that is simply they don't have enough receivers. They don't. And especially with Dalton Kincaid getting injured, they don't have the receivers. All you have to do, especially now when they've become more of a run-heavy team, you just have to stop the run. You do that, and then you can handle and deal with Josh Allen beating you with his arm, because it's going to take a lot of great throws, which he can do. But the hope is you stop the run enough early on, you get a big enough lead that you kind of don't have to worry too much. That's exactly what Miami did yesterday. It was more so we started laughing in the fourth after the Achane first touchdown was when we really started realizing, oh, we have this game won. Because again, like the third quarter and into the fourth, like I even joke saying, okay, there's 5 minutes left in the third. We're about to give up 2 touchdowns somehow, because it's just you was waiting to make sure the game was out of reach before getting too excited. But it was still a great watch the entire time. But like the more so laughing at Buffalo, that's been today. I've been going through a bunch of Buffalo radio, bunch of like Buffalo Twitter accounts, just being like, yeah, they're all making good points. But for at least this week, I'm gonna bask in it and bask in the overreactions of Buffalo. As we're still at commercial break. Still at commercial break. Next week, Monday Night Football is Cowboys Raiders. 1, ew. 2, I finally get to wear the Raiders jersey I have, because I didn't wear that Thursday night because it wasn't live. All right, back from commercial break. Love and shotgun, and back to each side. He's 1 for 3 tonight. Going to hand this off up the middle for Josh Jacobs. He gets past the 25 and up to about the 27, a gain of roughly 5. If the Cowboys lose to the Raiders, I am instantly going to Scooter's stream or video, whatever, and I'm seeing his reaction, because that would be an insane loss for them to take. It's just like Buffalo has been a regular season team the past 5-6 years. It's just when they can get over the hump, but they don't have the tools to get themselves over the hump. Toss right side, and there's space for Josh Jacobs. A first down and a whole lot more. Up past the 35 to the 39. Jerry Jones is not selling the team over his dead body. I think similarly to how Brandon Beane said that he would rather trade himself than trade Josh Allen, I think Jerry Jones would rather sell off all of his other possessions before selling the Cowboys. That includes his weird ass yacht that he has and does the draft from. Love under center, back behind him. 2 receiving options to each side. Gonna hand this off once again. And this time, going to be about 2. I think the main thing with Buffalo that this season is showing that the other years haven't also is, yeah, they had control of the division for like 6 years. No one was really competing with them. But now that the Patriots are, there's a lot more pressure on Buffalo than there was in previous years. On top of the fact that they beat the Chiefs, they beat the Ravens. They're like the one consistent contender still in the AFC. There's a lot of pressure on Buffalo, and just can they handle it? Handoff left side to Josh Jacobs, going to lose about a yard or two, so a 3rd and long coming up for the Packers. What has been a very defensive focused game so far through 20 minutes of game time, as there's 10 minutes left in the first half. Yeah, 3rd and 8 coming up. Love in shotgun, back to his left, 2 receivers to each side. Man in motion, left to right. As Love will look to throw. Pass right side, going to be caught, but not enough for the first. It's Luke Musgrave getting 6 when they needed 8. Jahad Campbell on the tackle. And we'll see what the Packers choose to do here. Seemingly going to keep the offense on the field. And with how the defense has been playing, Love and shotgun back to his right. 3 receivers to the left. It's a 4th and a pretty long 2. Love making adjustments at the line. Play clock winding down. And they're not going to snap this ball. All right. Yeah, I think that's the right move. And they'll take the delay of game on top of it. So it was a 4th and 7. They're going to punt this one away once again. All right. It's a defensive game, but not in the same way that Raiders Broncos was. Like, this feels like a solid defensive game. Because, both of these offenses, if given the opportunity, can make an explosive play happen. But neither defense is really budging on that regard, which is nice to see. As the punt goes into the end zone for a touchback, the Eagles will begin from the 20. Oh, if they tie 0-0, that would be fantastic. Like, yeah, a lot of people probably be off put by that. A 0-0 tie, especially from these two teams, would be a great game to watch. And also, if the Packers tied both the Cowboys and the Eagles, I think that would just be funny as well. As we're at commercial break. Damn, the Heat have a 9-point lead over the Cavs. Yeah, see, like that 4 o'clock window was not great yesterday. Meaning because it wasn't like none of the games were really competitive. The closest one was Lions Commanders, but even then, it wasn't that competitive of a game. I mean, like last night's game was a defensive focused one as well, but it's more so just because the Steelers' offense did nothing. Still at commercial break. Oh, did Cena really? Damn. It makes sense that they'll have him that they went with that route for Cena's final tour. Because what he has what, one or two more appearances left. Because we're like a month out from his final one. Oh yeah, by halftime of that game last night, we switched it off to play Madden, and that was 10 times more entertaining. Like there was some like good parts with it, but yeah, it was just I keep up with it. I have a few friends that are really into WWE. Like I keep up with it, so I keep up with it through them. But I don't know I don't know it as well as I do like football or the other sports I like. Hurts under center, back behind him. 1st and 10 from the 20. Going to play action and look to throw. Rolling right. Hurts with time. Passing right side. It's somehow caught. And going to get up to about the 27 there for Dallas Goedert. Dude, cross body. Nearly seemingly picked off. Going to be a second and about 4. So when it comes to like favorite of all time stuff, there's like I always like to do it between, and one answer of someone that I have watched in my lifetime, and the other answer being someone that I wasn't able to watch live. So in terms of was not able to watch live, yes, it's a Dolphin player, it's Dan Marino. As Hurts looks to throw in 2nd and 2, pass over the middle, it's going to be incomplete. In terms of player I actually was able to watch on Sundays and saw their career unfold basically, it's Aaron Rodgers. So that's how I like to handle that question, because I mean, yeah, I guess like any historic Dolphin player, but I was mainly just highlights to see of those. So of course I'm gonna think Of course I'm gonna think a player I've only seen highlights for is really damn good. Whereas Rodgers, like seeing his entire career, it's a different story. Quick pass left side for Jalen Hurts, gonna be incomplete, setting up a 4th and 2, and the Eagles go 3 and out once again. Depends on the game. The Monday night, like last week and this week, there's been a few, mainly because of the YouTube TV and ESPN shit. Like on Sundays, don't get them that often. Punt comes off clean, and it's going to bounce and be downed at about the Packers' own 41. It's a really good starting field position here for Green Bay. Can they capitalize with 7.5 to go in the first half? Yeah, and it's mainly because YouTube TV and ESPN haven't come to an agreement yet, so they're trying to take advantage of that. But yeah, typically it's like one stream. Though when I did the UFL championship, there was quite a few, mainly because I was a coach. I did the UFL championship and I did game 5 of the Stanley Cup final in the same stream because they started at the same time. So because of that, like bots started to come in. If this game ends 0-0 again, this isn't like, so far this is an example of a good defensive game. And I always like to make that point of there's good defensive games and bad defensive games. Same way there's good offensive games and bad offensive games. This is one where, because both offenses can move the ball well and put up points, and the fact that the defenses are just playing that well to stop them, it's a good defensive game. Broncos Raiders was an example of a bad defensive game. Because it was more so just the mistakes of the offenses, specifically Denver's, that let that game be in that low scoring and that close. Oh, putting fandom on the line for this game. Well, yeah, but that's still just funny. It feels like the Seahawks and Eagles should have had more like a historic rivalry to them. But they part of the reason why they don't is because the Seahawks were in the AFC for like 50, not 50 years, like 30 years. Yeah, the Seahawks are one of my favorite teams to watch this year. Which, who do they play next week? Because I'm going to have free reign basically on Sunday. I already have an idea of one of the games I'll go live with alongside the international stuff. Back from commercial break, Love in shotgun, back behind him, 3 receiving options to the left, or to the right, I mean. Looking to throw, pass left side, incomplete. Looking for Romeo Doubs, but Quinyon Mitchell in tight coverage. 2nd and 10 coming up. 3 guaranteed, maybe 4. It depends on the 4 o'clock slate. And just how I feel energy-wise by the 4 o'clock slate, I should say. Because I know you're going to be doing the Dolphin game international, obviously. I'm going to be live with Bills Buccaneers. As a give right side to give right side is going to be about 2 or 3 there for Emmanuel Wilson. There's Jalen Phillips on the tackle. I mean, he maybe missed a play. Quinyon Mitchell, he's back. He made a play already. So 3rd and 8. Love in shotgun, back to his left. 2 receiving options to each side. Going to look to throw once again. Love pass is tipped and incomplete. So a 3 and out now for the Packers. Yeah, so yeah, next Sunday, the Madrid game between Miami and Washington. Bills Buccaneers is almost guaranteed afterwards as well. It would be Broncos Chiefs for the 4 o'clock slate if I have the energy to do that, and then Lions Eagles Sunday night, and then obviously the Monday night and Thursday night game as well. Punt comes off clean. Going to be returned beginning from about the 13, has zoom out past the 20 and down to about the 25-26. If Seahawks Rams would have been a 425 game, I probably would have tried to dual stream that and Chiefs Broncos in some way. I still have I still have that on in the background, but the main game is gonna be Chiefs Broncos. That game is gonna be massive. As we're at commercial break after the Packers went 3 and out. I'm also looking ahead to week 12 because that's when Miami has their bye week, and the 1 o'clock slate that week is not looking as interesting right now as it did like 2 weeks ago. I'll find a way for week 12 to get a good chunk of games in, but we'll see. I do kind of want to make up for not having been live a lot this week. So we're probably gonna get a good few week stretch of doing maximum amount of games possible. Hell yeah. And yeah, piracy stuff. Because the NFL is damn near criminal with all the different streaming services and stuff you need to have to watch like most of like the prime time and singular game stuff. Yeah. I mean, this game's still being 0-0. It's in a spot here right now. Yeah, well, ESPN is also trying their hardest to get people to not watch this game right now, it seems. Handoff up the middle on 1st and 10 is going to have space up past the 30 to about the 33. I believe that's Will Shipley on the carry. But Jordan Love is 2 for 6 right now passing. I mean, people had questions about how the Packers lost to the Panthers last week. I mean, like, this offensive performance is exactly how. Hurts going to hand this off up the middle, and that's going to be enough for a first down up to about the 40. That's Will Shipley once again on the carry, but there is a penalty marker down. And Lane Johnson is slow to get up for Philly. Oh, that's a tough blow to the offensive line. That's a tough blow to the O-line. Because their backup right tackle is on IR and Cameron Williams, so they're going to need to shift some things around. He got rolled up on. That's tough. They haven't announced a penalty yet. All right, he's up. He's limping off the field. Hopefully, it's not too severe, and he can get back out there. But that's. All right, seemingly the penalties were offsetting as it's back to 2nd and 3. As Johnson's going straight into the blue medical tent. So in now at right tackle is Fred Johnson, who is their backup left tackle, needing to play right. Hurts in shotgun back to his right, 3 receiving options to the left. 2nd and 3 after seemingly offsetting penalties. Smith in motion left to right as Hurts is going to give this up the middle, and that is a gain of about a yard. Saquon Barkley on the carry. That's up a 3rd and 2. Yeah, and until the Packers offense actually moves the ball down the field, Philly is just fine. Again, the Eagles had that one really good drive on their opening drive of the game. It's just an unfortunate fumble. But Philly has been in control pretty much this entire game. Hurts play action looking to throw. Pressure coming, pass left side is off the mark and incomplete. And there's the penalty. Going to be a DPI against the Packers.
And that's an automatic first down for Philly. Yeah, he got there early. He made contact early. Held down that right arm. Hurts was looking for Dallas Goedert. Evan Williams is called for the DPI. And the Eagles get a fresh set of downs. My question with that is, how many first downs now do the Eagles have? Under 5 minutes to go in the first half. Hurts under center, back behind him, motion and tight end into the backfield to act as a fullback. Now motion him back to the left. And there's movement up front before the snap. A lot of motions going on there. They motion the tight end into the backfield to be a fullback, motion him back out to the left, motion a different tight end into the backfield to be a fullback, and thus Jordan Mailata is called for a false start. It was Evan Williams that caused the DPI, where the DPI was called on. Dallas Goedert was the intended target on the DPI play. Now a 1st and 15. Hurts in shotgun, back to his left. 2 receiving options to each side. Man in motion right to left. Handing this one off up the middle for Saquon. Bouncing out right side. Past the 45, past midfield. Going to be out of bounds at the plus 44, but a penalty marker down. And this is going to be a hold-in against the Eagles. It's against Brett Toth. And a 1st and 25 coming up. That's called on the backup center. Right. Yeah, called on the backup center. The Eagles have 6 first downs to the Packers 3 right now. Yeah, back at their own 25. Hurts in shotgun, back to his left. They're receiving options to the left as well. Gonna send a man in motion left to right. And a handoff up the middle gets about 4, maybe 5 there for Tank Bigsby. Second and 20 coming up now. Hurts in shotgun, back to his right. 3 receivers to the left. Devontae Smith sent in motion left to right. As Hurts is going to play action, look to throw. Pass right side to Devontae Smith. Going to have space and brought down near the 39. So a 3rd and 11 coming up. Third and 11. Just a simple screen out there for Devontae Smith. Had good blocking. And that's a potential touchdown save and tackle there by Evan Williams. So Hurts in shotgun, back to his right. 3 receivers to the left. 3rd and 11 from the 39. Looking for midfield. Hurts to throw. Has some time. Stepping up, rolling left. Now going to cut back right side. Fakes a shovel pass and takes it himself. And slides down at about the 43. Not going to be enough for the first. It's a 4th and medium. Going to be a 4th and like 7. So thus, out comes the punting unit. And once again, this game remains tied at nothing. Tied at nothing with 2.5 to play in the first. A punt will need to happen before the 2-minute warning. As the punt comes off relatively clean, going to bounce inside the 10 and be downed at about the 8 with a penalty marker down. Refs are discussing. Gonna be a holding against Philly. So they're gonna repunt this, or just add it to the end. .207 to play in the first half. Yeah, holding against Philly. They cut away from the ref before he said if they're going to add it to the end of the return or not. No, they're going to repunt. Okay. Yeah, and with how the Packers have played so far tonight, I would kind of be shocked if they do a whole lot. But at the same time, they're one of those teams where at any moment they can get an explosive play. It's just they're going to need someone to step up to get that explosive play. So now 4th and 17. Philly's going to repunt. And as the Packers hope for better field position, the punt comes off clean. And going to bounce and be returned beginning from the 22. Room out past the 30 and going to get brought down near the 33 of maybe 34. And that will bring us to the 2-minute warning. 1:54 to play in the first half. This game is still tied up at 0-0. The second half is going to make this game end like 31-28 or something. We head to a commercial break for the 2-minute warning. I mean, I think after yesterday, we can confidently say we don't know what football is anymore. Because, like, the Panthers lost. The Panthers, after beating the Packers, lose to the Saints. The Dolphins, out of nowhere, beat the Bills. Jackson Dart is most likely out for the season. I want to say most likely. There's a good chance he's out for the season because he was evaluated for a concussion for the 4th time this year. On top of that, Dable got fired, so we'll see. All right, all good. Yeah. Dart got banged up again yesterday. So I don't think we know fully on his status because again he's in concussion protocol. He was like thoroughly taken out of that game. So it seemed like he's gonna miss some time. Yeah, 4 times in one season, counting the preseason, that he was taken out of the game to be evaluated for a concussion. So yeah, he's in the protocol. So it's just who knows when he'll be back type of thing. But the fact that they firmly fired Brian Dable, I'm willing to venture that Dart will be missing a few weeks. As we're just getting back from commercial break, 1:54 to play in the first half. Can the Packers do anything? Love under center, back behind them. 2 receiving options to each side. Ball on their own 32-yard line. Play action looking to throw. Love dump off right side. Has space. Going to get up to about the 41 before being forced out of bounds. That's Luke Musgrave on the reception. A 2nd and 1 coming up. That is Jordan Love's 3rd completion of the game. We are deep into the second quarter. Love in shotgun back to his right. Going to hand this off up the middle. And that gets up to about the 45 for Josh Jacobs. Key thing is the Eagles get ball to begin the second half. So if the Packers do score here, the Eagles will have pretty much an instant chance to respond. Love looking to throw once again. Dump off over the middle, caught by Josh Jacobs. He gets to midfield before being brought down. 2nd and 5 coming up. A minute 10 to play. Love in shotgun back to his left. Back to his left, 3 receivers to the right. They're needing about 7 yards for projected field goal range. Love looking to throw. Has some time. Pressure coming. Escapes it to his left. Still looking. Takes it himself. Love gets the first down and gets enough for field goal range. Is a gain of 8. And with 50 seconds to play in the first half, the Packers are in position to break the scoreless tie. The question is just, will they actually do it? I knew something was off with the camera. There we go. All right, 51 seconds. Love and shotgun back to his right. There's not a lot of room to work with here. Only a yard in front of field goal range. Love looking to throw. Pressure coming. Dump off right side. Caught by Josh Jacobs with space. Past the 35 and going to be brought down inbounds for a gain of 9. And the Packers will call their first timeout. It is still Brandon McManus as the kicker in Green Bay, which I think is fair. But if he struggles again tonight, then there's going to be a loud discussion about making Lucas Haverzik your go-to kicker. But it is still McManus. He still has that pedigree to him. But with how this game has gone, you really cannot afford to miss any kicks. So they really need to get this as close as possible. As we're at commercial break. Hey, here's a commercial with Josh Allen in it. Yeah, it's was that Pistachios commercial? All right, just getting back from commercial break. And they're giving an update on Lane Johnson that I can't hear because I don't have earbuds or anything in for this game. He was taken into the locker room on a weird looking card. That's dead. Because that's not. Is that technically a card? I guess it is. That's not a great sign there for Lane Johnson. He's questionable with an ankle. That's tough. Love in shotgun back behind him. 3 receiving options to the left. 2nd and 1 from the 33. Looking to throw. Pass left side going to be caught along the sideline to the 27. That's Romeo Doubs on the reception. And he gets out of the bounds, stopping the clock with 38 seconds. Not a great throw from Love, but it gets the job done. So first and 10, Love and shotgun back to his left, two receivers to each side. Ball on the 27. Play clock winding down. They get the snap off as Love looks to throw. Trying to step up and sacked back at the 28. 31 seconds to play in the half. That's Nolan Smith getting the pressure in there. And we also had a timeout called, I would imagine, by the Packers. Yep. As there is a Packer that was slow to get up there as well. So it was an injury timeout. As one of their linemen get rolled up on. Oh, that's Elton Jenkins, who's slow to get up afterwards. That's a tough blow to that guard room. We're going to see who's lined up at center for today's game. Because, yeah, they're another team that's kind of low on linemen. As their backup center is out for today's game. So who's that making the backup center? Who do you move over? Seemingly, they're putting Sean Ryan in that center, who's the backup right guard typically. Second and 10, Love and shotgun back to his left. Three receivers to the right after sending the man in motion. Going to look to throw. Pressure coming again and sack. No, gets this off to Jacobs. But they might be ruling this a fumble, and if so, Philly has it. Just go down, Love. You don't need to do more than... I get wanting to make a play there, but just go down. There's no need to try and get that ball. Yeah, that's a fumble. That's a fumble. It's Nakobe Dean who forces it loose. And the Packers were in field goal range to break the scoreless tie. But now they have a fumble. And yep, there's the confirmation. Philly ball. Doing too much with it. Just doing too much with it. Both teams now have fumbled inside the plus 30. Just trying to do too much. He wanted to check it down to Josh Jacobs, but there was no space for that. And it's Jalen Phillips who falls on it. Wow. 23 seconds for the Eagles to get the lead before the half. The Eagles get ball to begin the second half. So they're in a great spot here. Jake Elliott. He can kick, man. He has a leg to him. They have ball on their own 35. As now Elton Jenkins is being carted to the locker room. Which, fair. I mean, we're at the half, basically, for the offense. Hurts and shotgun back to his right. Two receiving options to each side. Going to look to throw. Pressure coming. Escapes to his left. Still looking. Going to take it himself and get out of bounds for a gain of 4. 16 seconds remain in the half. 2nd and 6. Hurts in shotgun, back to his right. 2 receivers to each side. Ball on the 38-yard line, looking to throw. Pass right side, has a man, but short arms it and incomplete. Looking for Devontae Smith, who had separation near the sideline, but just didn't put enough into it. And that's been the case a lot this season for Jalen Hurts, where he has someone open, but just doesn't put enough into the throw. But in this case, he kind of couldn't. The backup right tackle got bulldozed into his lap. He couldn't really put enough. He didn't have the space to put more into that throw. A give up the middle on 3rd and 8 is going to get about 2. And there's going to be a timeout called with 4 seconds to play in the half. Are they going to just Hail Mary this one? The Packers are the one that called the timeout. Look, it's still looking for a punt return. I mean, this game. When was the last time an NFL game was 0-0 entering the half? Pretty sure this would be the first time it happened this year. And yet, because the Packers called timeout, Jalen Hurts for a Hail Mary. Launching one deep right side. No, he just chucks this into the stands. Never mind. We're at halftime. The Eagles get ball to begin the second half. Here we go. First scoreless half on Monday Night Football since 2009. That was a Browns and Ravens game, so that makes sense. I'm more so thinking just in general. When was the last time we had a scoreless first half? It probably has happened this year, and I'm just forgetting about it. Alright, cool. And so at the end of a half of play, Jordan Love, 6 for 10, 39 yards, 1 lost fumble. Jalen Hurts, 7 for 13, 48 yards, and 1 lost fumble. Those are my 2 quarterbacks in fantasy. I was screwed either way with them. Wait, the Eagles have to climb up stairs to get to the locker room? I think that's my first time seeing the away team tunnel at Lambeau. That is fantastic. Man, I'm so lucky Devon Chan went crazy. Even McConkey got me some. Same with Trey McBride. I got everyone but my quarterback and my kickers is helping me this week. Yeah, we're at halftime. Man, this has been like the score is 0-0, but it doesn't feel like we've been watching this game for an hour and a half. Like this game is still going pretty quick for it to be a 0-0 score at halftime, which is the impressive thing. Yep, at halftime, both defenses has made a big time play on their own side of the field in order to keep this at 0-0. It's just wow. God, those stat lines. those are NFL quarterback stat line. On Saturday for college football, the University of Washington and Washington and Wisconsin went at it. The lead-in passer for the Wisconsin Badgers on Saturday was their punter, and they still won the game. College football is something else. What was the exact stat line that they had on Saturday? Yeah, so their punter it was 1 for 1 for 24 yards. One of their quarterbacks was 3 for 12 for 8 yards. Another one was 2 for 3 for 16. And then a third, I guess, was 0 for 2. And the Badgers won this game. In part because they had a great rushing attack, but that's just insane. College football is a different beast entirely from the NFL, which is why I prefer it to be like a casual watching experience. Yep, we're at halftime. About 8:20 to go in half. Philly gets ball to begin the second half. As of this game being 0-0. It's an entertaining 0-0 half. That's the key thing. Which that is very hard to come across. But I'm here for it. I am here for it. Exactly, yeah. It was used up by the Sunday slot. It was used up by Jonathan Taylor specifically yesterday, which he had. If he's not the favorite for MVP after his performance Sunday, I don't know what it will take. Jonathan Taylor should be the MVP, no question at this point. He's having a fantastic year. It actually reminded me, the backyard sports games. They've been slowly like being re-released on like PC and other systems and stuff, and like mobile. I need to make sure I get backyard football. I haven't gotten that one yet, but they're releasing backyard hockey soon. Re-releasing that. That's gonna be fun. And then they're working on new games as well. Finally, and hopefully they're gonna be good. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. We have 5.5 to go in the 5.5 to go in halftime. Yeah, that Jets Browns game ended up being a pretty entertaining game, kind of like what I thought it was gonna be. Because that's one of those type of matchups where it shakes up for a pretty solid game. Yeah, 'cause it's two teams that are bad. So let's the two negatives of the team's qualities cancel out to result in a really good game most of the time. Exactly. It's an evenly matched games. But yeah. Also, announced today, Joe Burrow expected to be back for Thanksgiving. What? Huh? Like the timeline was supposed to be like Christmas almost, and be back in time for like the final 3 weeks of the season. Him potentially being back for Thanksgiving completely shakes up the Bengals season and the AFC. Yeah, his practice window starts. It starts like tomorrow or whenever. Like he's in the early stages of being back. Which if he's back by Thanksgiving, it's gonna make that Ravens Bengals game 10 times better. Which speaking, but the idea currently, as we are about 2 weeks out from Thanksgiving, the idea for Thanksgiving is for Thanksgiving plus Black Friday, I'll be live for 3 of the 4 games that week. I am gonna be in a different location as visiting family and all that for Thanksgiving, but they're being very generous and scheduling Thanksgiving dinner around the morning and after and late game. So the afternoon game on Thanksgiving, I think the Cowboys Chiefs, that will be the one game I won't be live with for Thanksgiving. At least that's the idea currently. Because like the Thanksgiving slate is fantastic. Beginning with Lions Packers and ending with Ravens Bengals. Like those were 2 games I knew I had to be live with. So I'm very thankful to be able to be live with those games. Yeah. Because like already like Thanksgiving was kind of like a very like a last minute type of thing to decide to do. So we're not gonna have a ton of people over for it. But like they're thankful enough gonna like schedule it around it. Yeah. And then Black Friday kicks off at like what 3 o'clock. I'll be live for that one, no problem. Either way. Ooh, best wishes there. This is my first time seeing an NFL Plus commercial break thing. Commercial break thing. That was nice. Yeah. All right, the second half going to be underway here soon. The Eagles get ball to begin the second half. What has been a nothing burger of a game. Here's the thing with a game like this. Also, this is more so just like thought process now that I'm doing this channel and all that. Getting the highlights for this game for power rankings tomorrow is going to be annoying. Because there's like none currently in terms of like offensive stuff. I can get like, I can put like all the 2-yard carries I want. But like there's been like what combined barely 200 yards of offense. Ooh. Yeah, thank for that. Gee, yeah, it's lucky there. Gee, that's Oh, Lane Johnson back on the sideline. That's a big get for this Eagles offense. Kickoff underway, going to be returned beginning from the 5. Room out past the 20, 25, and down to about the 30. Is Will Shipley under return, and we begin the second half from there. And Troy Aikman looks so done with this game. That's yeah. Thankfully, we were able to get her in there in time. That's oof. Yeah, the good to hear the surgery went well and all that. Handoff up the middle for Saquon Barkley, breaks off one tackle and going to get about 6-ish, maybe up to the 35, maybe gets to the 36. Second and 3 coming up, rolling at the gain of 7. Yeah, again, great to hear the surgery went well, and that everything's good now. Yeah, that's a scary situation. Hurts in shotgun, back behind him, a fullback to his left, going to play action, look to throw, dump off right side, going to be caught by Dallas Goedert, enough for a first down, up to about the 41. It's a gain of 6 to keep the chains moving. Yeah. Yeah, definitely can't risk it just yet. Hopefully she'll be able to join for Thanksgiving. And Hurts in shotgun, back behind him, 2 receiving options to each side. Gonna play action and look to throw. Has some time, throwing over the middle. There's a man that's caught up to the 40 and brought down at the 37. That's Dallas Goedert once again on the reception. All right, and Philly starting to move the ball well. Hurts in shotgun, back to his right, going to fake a toss right and look to throw. Passing deep over the middle is overthrown and incomplete. Had a man open, but couldn't connect. And it's 2nd and 10. Looking for Grant Calcaterra there, and he's open for that seam. Just put too much into it. I mean, the Eagles' offense this year feels like one of those where if the passes were just 5% better, they would be in a much better spot. Hurts under center, back behind him. 2 receiving options to each side. Going to hand this off up the middle, and there's space. Up to about the 30 for Saquon. A 3rd and 3 coming up. All right, 3rd and 3. Hurts in shotgun. Going to keep it himself. Pass right side. Going to be caught inside the 25 to about the 23 for Dallas Goedert. And they keep the chains moving once again. Eagles slowly approaching the red zone. So 1st and 10. This has been one of the better drives of the game, just period. Hurts in shotgun back to his right. 3 receivers to the left, looking to throw. Pressure coming, escaping to his left, looking, has space, will take it himself. Inside the 20 and out of bounds at the 16. And for the first time tonight, a team has entered the red zone and will call a play from inside the red zone. We're over halfway through this game. The ball on the 17. Hurts under center, back behind him. 3 receiving options to the right. Going to hand this off right side and going to be stuffed well behind the line. A loss of 3 there for Tank Bigsby. It's Quay Walker on the tackle. 3rd and 13 coming up from the 20. So the first play from the red zone for either side, it basically gets them out of the red zone. It was just like a force field just a force field inside the 20 on both sides, I guess. I don't know what's. And my 3rd and 7 coming up. Hurts in shotgun back to his left. 2 receiving options to each side. And the play clock winds down. Do they get the timeout off in time? They don't. It's delay of game on Philly. So a 3rd and 12 coming up, seemingly. Yeah, delay of game. They ran a single play from the red zone and are now back at their own 25. I don't believe there has been. I know in college there was a scoreless regulation period. I know exactly where to check for this. There has been. What? There's been. The last one was 1943. That goes to show. Handoff right side on 3rd and 12. It's going to get up to about the 21. There's been 73 games in NFL history to end in a 0-0 tie. All of them were from before World War II. That just goes to show, 1, how different the NFL has been, and 2, how uncharacteristic this is. But Jake Elliott is on for a 39-yard field goal try from the right hash to break the scoreless tie. It is up, and it is right down the middle. We have points. Finally, with under 9 minutes to play in the 3rd, we have points. It took them long enough. That would have been funny if it was the first scoreless tie in that long. This is making me realize some of the weird teams the NFL has had over the years. So the 1943 scoreless tie was between the Giants and Lions. Pretty two current teams. The Packers are on here quite a bit, actually, on this full list. They're on here. The Packers have had 9 different games in their history end in a scoreless tie. And only 2 of those are against current NFL teams. It would have been great. What team is this? October 10th, no, that wouldn't have been the first week of the NFL. But it's close. Oh no, what? In the first week of the NFL's existence, 2 different games ended in scoreless ties. That is fantastic. The first week had 2 scoreless ties. That is great. And of those teams, only one of them is still in existence, and that's the Cardinals. We're coming back from commercial break. Kickoff going to be return beginner from the 8. Trying to find space down the right side. Gets up to about the 28. So what's this? Oh, page not found. That makes sense. Oh, yeah, because why would the page be found for the Lansing Oldsmobile? This is great. I need to utilize this for a video. I gotta utilize Scorigami a bit more for stuff. That's fantastic. Love under center, play action, looking to throw. Has some time stepping up. Throw in right side, has a man that's caught. Christian Watson past the 45 to the 47, but a penalty marker down. Yeah, the Lansing Oldsmobile. Old NFL names are great. Holden against the Eagles is the call. That will be declined. So Love under center, back behind him. 3 receiving options to the right. Ball on their own 47. Handoff up the middle, and that's Josh Jacobs past midfield to the 48. Yeah, a lot of the empty spots on this Scorigami is just like ridiculously high scoring games. We did have a Scorigami this week in the NFL though. Houston and Jacksonville was a Scorigami. And that's always fun when that happens. Love under center, back behind him, going to hand this off to Josh Jacobs. Makes one man miss in the backfield and fights his way for about 3 or 4. Yeah, 60 games has ended in a 3-0 finish. with the most recent being 2 years ago. Love in shotgun back to his left, 3rd and 3 coming up. 7 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. 2 receivers to each side, a back to his left, play clock winding down. They barely get the snap off in time. Love pass right side, going to be caught. That's enough for a first down, a gain of 5 for Dontavian Wicks. They keep the chains moving. A scoregami is essentially just a unique final score. So it's a grid where you have the winning team score as the y-axis, and then we have one score as the x-axis, one score as the y-axis, and it creates this graph where essentially it's just you have all the different final scores in NFL history, and you just see which ones have not happened yet. As the handoff on 1st and 10 is going to lose about 4 or 5. So, like, for example, like the Houston Jacksonville game, 36-29. That game on Sunday was the first time in NFL history a game finished with the final score of 36-29. Love under center, back behind him, 2nd and 14 from the plus 46. Play action, looking to throw, stepping up and gonna take it himself. He gets the yards right back basically from the first down play. It's 3rd and 10. Yeah. So there's a website. If you just look up Scoregami, it'll show up, and you can see that graph and everything laid out. And it's always like cool. It's like which sections are just like highly unlikely to happen. So like pretty much everything within like a team scoring 4 points or 1 point is empty, because those are highly improbable, especially nowadays with the 1 point stuff. Love pass over the middle. It's going to be incomplete on 3rd and 9. Looking for Romeo Doubs. Good throw, but would have taken a miraculous dive and catch. So with it being 4th and 9, kind of in no man's land, Packers have a choice here. Yeah, nearly a great catch from Dobbs. They're going to go for it. Love in shotgun. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. They need the 32-yard line. Love looking to throw. Eagles send 5. Pressure coming. Pass left side, and it's incomplete. A great play from Reed Blankenship. Forces the ball loose, and it's a turnover on downs. It's a good throw. Hits him in the chest, but just couldn't hang on to it. Not sure who that was though. I'm going to the Packers roster and see if I'm just looking at the depth chart. No, that must have been someone that they called up from the practice squad for this game. Because of the injuries they're dealing with. Yeah, I do not see their name on ESPN's website. We're at commercial break, by the way. What would be the Technically, you can get that. I mean, this game could still theoretically end in a 9-9 tie. Or yeah, 3-3 tie. But that's when was that happen? 13 times. There's been a 3-3 tie. Cool. We're still at commercial break. .442 to play in the third quarter. Just coming back from commercial break. Hurts in shotgun. Back to his left. Two receiving options to each side. Going to look to throw. Stepping right. Passing right. Going to be caught for no gain. That's Saquon Barkley on the reception. 2nd and 10 coming up. Elgton Jenkins has been ruled out as a tough blow for the Packers offense. Hurts under center, back and fullback behind him. 2nd and 9. Going to hand this off left side and stuffed behind the line. Back to the 25-yard line. What a play there. Who was the... Yeah, Devontae Wyatt, the first Packer into the backfield. And that's a massive loss of yards there. A 3rd and long coming up. So 3rd and 15. Hurts in shotgun back to his left. 3 receivers to the right. Going to look to throw. Pressure coming. Hurts dump off right side. Going to be caught with room. Has a blocker as well, but going to get up to about the 43 before being brought out of bounds. Not enough for the first. The Eagles go 3 and out and will send this one away. This game might end 3-0. And, well, no, yeah, 3-0. It'll be the first time since Vikings Raiders back in 2013, back in 2023, that a game would end 3-0. The punt comes off clean. Going to bounce into the end zone for a touchback. Packers will begin the drive from the 20 with 2:32 to play in the third quarter. All right, so at commercial break. And at commercial break. It's still a commercial break. All right, just getting back from commercial break. Hell yeah, send it over. They're doing a Godfather reference for a Howie Roseman graphic. Sorry, the Patriots have made how many trades since 2016? Love and shotgun back behind him, going to toss this left side. And there's space for Josh Jacobs. Up past the 30 to the 32. That graphic just showed the Patriots have made 105 trades since 2018. Huh? So 1st and 10, under 2 minutes to play in the third. Love and shotgun back behind him. Going to play action and look to throw. Love with some time. Pass right side. Going to be caught. What a catch. Pass midfield. And out of bounds at the 49. It's Dontavian Wicks on the reception. Penalty marker down. Prior to the pass, a defensive holding against the Eagles, which will be declined. And the Packers are past midfield on 2 plays. So Love under center, ball in about midfield, back behind him, 2 receiving options to each side. Handoff up the middle for Josh Jacobs is going to get about 3, maybe 4, but not much else. All right, this is a very important drive for the Packers. Down by 3. Your defense is playing great. You just need the offense to get pieces together. Only ruling it a gain of 2 for Jacobs. Love under center, back behind him. Letting this play clock run. Handoff up the middle, and he's going to fight for about 2 or 3. And that might be the end of the third quarter. And yep, they're seemingly going to let this clock run. Kind of going up tempo, see if they get the Eagles to jump here on 3rd and 4. Love and shotgun back to his right, and that's the end of the third quarter. 15 minutes remains, a 3-0 game, very defensive focused. But man, it's been an entertainingly defensive game. I think tying 3-3 would be funnier. Because that would be the Packers' second tie of the season. And it'll be to the Eagles and the Cowboys. Yeah, it would definitely help Seattle. Because yes, an Eagles loss will put Seattle in sole possession of first place of the NFC right now, which is massive. Is it? Yeah. Seems fine on my end. We're at commercial break for the end of the third quarter. Damn. Damn. Yep. Commercial break and then the third quarter. Yeah. For Thanksgiving, like the location I'll be at for Thanksgiving and all that is gonna be is like more so like my official setup. It won't be like properly there because I'm only gonna be down there for like 3-4 days. But over the winter, I'll be back there as well with my proper setup and everything. So those streams are gonna be fun. And hopefully internet connection is more consistent. As we're just getting back from commercial break, Love in shotgun back to his right, 2 receiving options to each side. First play of the fourth quarter. Man in motion. As Romeo Doubs is Love will look to throw. As time pass right side, a dangerous one at the sticks. Gonna be caught for a first down is Dontavian Wicks. And yeah, I would go hurry up here and get a playoff because I'm not quite sure. It's gonna be, yeah, that's very close. I would go hurry up here. But they're huddling up. They're confident in getting the first there. That's close. That is definitely close. Love under center. Back behind him, gonna hand this off to Josh Jacobs up the middle. He gets inside the 35 to the 34. And the Packers are going back to this mindset of just killing time and killing clock. That's what they did pretty much this entire drive so far, even in the third quarter. The idea is you leave the Eagles with very little time and ideally down by 4. Love under center, back behind him. 2 receiving options to each side. Play action looking to throw. Love with time. Pass right side has a man that's caught. Inside the 15 to the 13 is Christian Watson. And a penalty marker down near the line of scrimmage. We'll see what the penalty is. Illegal formation on the Packers. Going to push them back. So 2nd and 11 now. Love under center, back behind him, 2 receiving options to each side. Going to play action and look to throw. Love pass over the middle is incomplete. Looking for Romeo Doubs, Quinyon Mitchell in good coverage. It's a 3rd and 11. And they're in field goal range, but it would be a long kick. Yeah, they're in field goal range roughly. As it sits now, it would be about a 58, 59-yard kick. So yeah, you definitely are playing with thunder in terms of McManus's field goal range. So you would like to get a few more yards here. Love in shotgun back to his right, 3 receivers to the left to get the snap off barely in time as Love looks to throw. Rolling to his right, just can't take a sack. Love trying to direct traffic, and he'll throw this one away right side incomplete. 4th and 11 coming up. Romeo Doubs is a little shaken up, but seems for the most part fine, I think. As it's 4th and 11, and you definitely cannot go for it here. Oh, Doubs was open. But the pressure forced him to roll out before he was able to hit him. They're gonna punt this one away. Wow. And it'll be... Wait, what? Okay. If they say that they saved this punt, it's going to be eagle ball at the 1-yard line, maybe a safety, because a random gunner picked up the ball afterwards. If he didn't save this, it's a touchback. But if he did, this could be a game-changing mistake from Philly special teams. The ball is currently placed on the half-yard line. Did he save it? He's in the end zone. Are we saying he establishes himself outside of the end zone and saves that ball? Because that's really close. That's really all that matters. Is did he save that ball from bouncing in the end zone? If he did, this is a game. Look, this is a potentially game-changing play. It's Bo Melton, who is the gunner. That's an insane save if he did. And then, yeah, a random gunner for Philly picks up the ball for some reason and puts him in... It would have been a bad spot anyway, but puts him in an even worse spot. Yeah, I don't know what this game is. Either way, it's eagle ball, definitely. And okay, they're ruling it a touchback. That makes sense. Yeah, I'm fine with that. But that having to punt it there is a prime example of why I don't think McManus can be the guy going forward as kicker. Because you're on the 40-yard line. That's a 57, 58-yard kick. If McManus can't hit that, you know who could? The kicker you have who's inactive today that hit a 61-yarder in Lambeau and set a franchise record in Lucas Haverzik. Because that's a game-changing play there, having to punt that away and it being a touchback. Instead of being able to just kick the field goal and get 3 out of it. If you don't have confidence in McManus to hit from 57, why is he your kicker? When Haverzik, we know can hit from 60 plus. That's the one thing where I'm like, in a game like this, and that you need pretty much needed points, I'm not sure if McManus can truly be the guy going forward. His long this season, like McManus's long this season is 56. And yeah, 56 is not career long though, but it's his season long. So it'll be just, it's technically just out of field goal range. Okay, he's hit from 58 before. He's hit from 61, but those were in Denver, so it was a little bit grain of salt. I know. I think you have to kick the field goal there. And just give him a shot. All right, Hurts in shotgun, back to his left. Going to hand this off to Saquon up the middle. Gain of roughly 5. Now you put in a lot of pressure on your defense. Like, I don't know. That is definitely more so saying we trust our defense to make a stop, but if you can't trust McManus from there when Havrisik is available, I don't know why McManus is still the kicker. Toss right side for Saquon Barkley on 2nd and 6. He's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, no gain, before being forced out of bounds. So 3rd and 6 coming up. Hurts in shotgun, back to his left. 2 receiving options to each side. Going to look to throw. Hurts sometime. Pass left side to dump off. Has space. Going to be enough for a first down. Saquon Barkley, nice spin move. Has room past midfield. Has blocking and down to the 35. Saquon Barkley might have just called game in a way with how the Packers offense has been playing. A field goal here is massive. And Saquon Barkley, what was that, 45-yard gain, puts the Eagles right into field goal range. Hurts in shotgun, back to his right. 3 receiving options to the left. Man in motion left to right. Hurts going to play action and look to throw. Has some time. Deep shot over the middle. Has a man. It's caught. Touchdown, Philly. Devontae Smith. And it's a 2-possession lead for the Eagles with 10:35 to play. That's why you kick the field goal and give your guy a chance to tie the game. Because now you're down by 2 scores with an offense that has been struggling to move the ball. Extra point is up and good. Did the Heat just win on a buzzer beater in overtime? That's crazy. Nah. Embrace it. We're heading to a commercial break. Not kicking the. It's a 57 yarder. You have to be able to. You have to be able to trust your kicker with that. In today's NFL, when we have kickers that can consistently hit from 60, you need to be able to have a guy you can trust from 57. I don't think you have. Oh, yeah, that's the first touchdown of the game. And yeah, Jalen Hurts. I'm lucky I'm going against someone in fantasy that doesn't really care. Making Jordan Love my starter was not a good idea for Jalen Hurts in hindsight. Let me see. Was that a recent send or is that? It was. If it's the most recent, if it's a part of the most recent thing you sent, yeah, I haven't looked at that quite yet. If because it's the most recent thing you sent, I assume that's what it is. I haven't gotten around to looking at it yet. I will after stream though, definitely. Yeah. Kickoff going to be returned beginning from the goal line. Has zoom out past the 25 to about the 26. All right, unless there's no possibility for this game to be with 10 points. You can't really get scoregami out of it. Yeah, yeah, I've had those brain fart moments as well. Love under center, going to hand this off up the middle for for Josh Jacobs. That gets about 3 or 4. Yeah, it was like you did something, but you kind of did it you kind of did it quickly to where you didn't realize your brain doesn't realize you actually did do it. Love in shotgun, looking to throw in 2nd and 7. Has time, pass right side, going to be caught for a first down. Gain of about 8, maybe gets the extra effort for 10. That's Bo Melton on the reception. Yeah, that does explain why I couldn't find Bo Melton earlier looking at the roster, because he's listed as a corner for the Packers. He's lined up at receiver now because he was a receiver last year, made the switch to corner, but they're desperately need at receiver. So he's back. As a pass to Josh Jacobs' left side will be a gain of about 6. So Love and shotgun back to his left. Quick throw right side, going to be caught. And that's a gain of roughly 2 there for Savon Williams. So 3rd and 2. Love and shotgun back to his right. Making adjustments at the line. 3 receivers to the left. Gonna shift the back to his left. Big time 3rd down here. Love. Handoff up the middle for Jacobs. He gets enough past midfield to about the 46. So 1st and 10. Love and shotgun back to his left. 2 receiving options to each side, looking to throw. Has time, pass left side, going to be caught. Stays on his feet for a gain of about 2 or 3. That's Emmanuel Wilson on the reception. 2nd and 8 coming up. Love and shotgun back to his left. Going to look to throw. Has some time. Pass right side. Going to be off the mark and incomplete. Looking for Bo Melton. 3rd and 8 coming up. So 3rd and 8. Love and shotgun back to his left. 3 receivers to the right. You need at least half. Going to look to throw. Love pass right side. Has a man open. That's caught inside the 35 to the 34. Dontavian Wicks for a first down. 7.5 to play in the game. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. All right, Love and shotgun back to his left. 2 receiving options to each side. Ball on the plus 34. Going to toss this left side for Zavon Williams, who's going to get back to the line, maybe a yard, but not much else. Yeah. I've stopped using a straw for the past little while now. Like a year or so, because of just how quickly I can drink with a straw. And I need to pace myself better. Love and shotgun back to his right. 2 receiving options to each side. 2nd and 10 looking to throw. Has some time. Pass left side. Has a step and it's incomplete. Looking for Luke Musgrave and a penalty comes in relatively late. Going to be a DPI against Shahad Campbell. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, it's certain drinks, you're supposed to drink relatively quicker. But I'm not really a caffeine person. It's more so for when I'm out to eat and I get soda and stuff. If I have a straw, I can devour 5 glasses before dinner even arrives. That's a no-go nowadays. It has been, so I try not to use a straw. And I do like using it as a stirring stick, but I would rather actually be able to enjoy my drink. Quick throw right side for halfback screen, going to be caught by Josh Jacobs inside the 10 and down to the 6. And that's the first play for the Packers inside the red zone. Six minutes to play in the game. Second and 3. Love and shotgun back to his right. 3 receivers to the left. Going to hand this off up the middle for Josh Jacobs, and he has space, and he gets in. The second effort pile push puts the Packers within 4, pending the extra point. About time the Packers offense does anything in this game. And yeah, he barely crosses the plane there. About time. You give your defense 4:49 to make a stop. You have all 3 timeouts. Your offense did something finally. You're still very much in this game. But man, it took you way too long to have a drive like that. Extra point is up and right down the middle for McManus. It's a 3-point game. Josh Jacobs does it himself. But at commercial break. Yep, commercials for next week's international game. Cannot wait to wake up at 8 a.m. to watch the Dolphins lose to the Commanders, because knowing this team, that's exactly what's going to happen. But we'll be live for that game. Yep, at commercial break. I have no idea either. It's a case of that's a game Miami should be able to win. But knowing this team and how they've played in games like that, there's not really a way to predict the outcome. Like and also it's Marcus Mariota starting as well. I think he has a good history against Miami. I don't really remember much of the matchups between. I mean, the matchups against Tennessee I remember are more recent matchups because those were more heartbreaking. Kickoff underway, going to be returned beginning from the 2. As zoom out past the 25 and down to about the 29. Okay, Marcus Mariota is 1-2 against Miami in his career. But also the last time he played against the Dolphins was 2018. So it makes sense why I don't remember this matchup. So we'll see how Sunday goes. Hurts in shotgun back to his left. 1st and 10 from the 28. Handoff up the middle for Saquon. He's met in the backfield for a loss of 2. Evan Williams on the tackle for a loss from the safety position. And that's exactly how you want this defense to start the series. So 2nd and 12, Hurts in shotgun back to his right. 2 receiving options to each side. Gonna keep it himself right side. Pass to Goddard is incomplete. He wasn't ready for the throw. And it's 3rd and 12. It was when Miami last played Mariota. Yeah, it was 2018. In a game that I just don't remember. Because the 2018 season was a really weird season for Miami. We had Cutler playing, we had Osweiler playing. It was a rough year. All right, Hurts in shotgun back to his left. 3 receivers to the right. 3rd and 12. Looking to throw. Has time. Pass right side. Has a man. And are they ruling this a catch? They are. Devontae Smith. A great catch along the sideline to keep the chains moving. Hanging on through the contact. And that's a pickup of about 14. Yeah, that's a great catch from Devontae Smith, man. He's been having himself a great game. More so a gain of like 16. Hurts under center, back behind him. 1st and 10 now from the 41. Handoff up the middle, and that's going to be about 2 for Saquon Barkley. Also, Andrew Wiggins caught a lob to end the game. Hell yeah. The Heat get a win tonight. Dolphins won yesterday. The Panthers are currently up 1-0. As it's 2nd and 7. Hurts under center, back behind him, going to hand this off up the middle. And that is a gain of roughly 5 up to midfield. 3rd down coming up. That was Boquist who got the goal for Florida. Okay. Fine, I have to be able to beat Vegas. So 3rd and 2, 3.5 to play in the game. Big time 3rd down here for the Packers. And they're going to let this clock run, taking a timeout with 3:21 to play in the game. This is a game-defining play call here for Philly. The bottom line is you can't go backwards. I would not be surprised if they just go push twice and get the first. As long as they can get the first down, they're able to relatively seal this game. All right, so Hurts under center. Back and fullback behind them. They're not in the tush push formation. 3rd and 2. Just shy of midfield. Hurts, fullback dive up the middle, and that's enough for the first down. They get 5. They get about 5 there. 3:10 to play in the game. Packers letting this clock run because the Eagles do need to snap the ball once more before 2-minute warning. Yeah, Brett Favre, man. All he needed to do in retirement was just, not do exactly what he did. Handoff up the middle on 1st and 10 is going to get about 2 or 3. Like, even Favre's playing career, like, the amount of interceptions and all that, like, it's a fine career. It's a Hall of Famer for a reason. But like he was such a polarizing quarterback even before retirement and all the off the field stuff. And so like all that's not helping his case. As the Packers call their first timeout, and we head to a commercial break with 2:34 to play in the game. I think so. It might be about that, or it might just be, like about CTE and like how concussions handle players post retirement. Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked if it's just featuring, and he's done a lot of weird advertisements and stuff post career. He tried to be like Shaq with all like the side quest commercials with like Copper Finn and all that, but it's not gone great for him. and also like why would he be involved in a sports documentary on New York? OJ was California through and through. That would be a bad representative even without all the other shit. Okay, he did play in Buffalo, but he's a California guy. Yeah, he played in Buffalo, but he never really claimed Buffalo. He was always more so like USC, LA, then Buffalo. Yeah. Like, he was good in Buffalo. It's just no one remembers him for Buffalo. It's always that the murder, or the trial, USC, and just like all the other stuff, and everything else like secondary. Hurts under center, gonna hand and play action, look to throw, rolling right, and going just throw this one away. 3rd and 8 coming up. They went play action on 2nd and 8. Oh, I don't like that play call. I mean, a handoff would have been blown up, but you let in basically 2 free rushers on 2nd and 8 because you let in the free rusher from the left side that would have blocked the run, and then you put a tight end on Micah Parsons. So basically, a 2nd free rusher. Now the Packers save a timeout, and it's 3rd and 8. Hurts in shotgun, back to his left, 3 receivers to the right. Going to look to throw again. Pass left side is high and incomplete. What are these play calls? They just let the Packers right back into this game. Back-to-back pass plays, both incomplete. Wow. Yeah. It is. And, grain of salt with all that. Wait, the offense is staying on the field for Philly? They must have a genius play call here. Hurts in shotgun, back to his left. 2 receivers to each side. They're on the outskirts of field goal range. Again, they let the play clock wind down. They're going to take the delay of game. That way they set up more room for their punter. I guess that's what Philly's trying to do. I don't get what these decisions are. Like, how do you have Saquon Barkley? Just give it to him twice. Force the Packers to use their timeouts. You would get into field goal range with that and be able to take a 6-point lead, forcing them to get a touchdown. Like, they were like half a yard away from field goal range. And you don't just run the ball to get into it? I don't know. On comes Brandon Mann, hoping to pin them deep. Punt comes off clean and going to be fair caught at the 10. But like now they only need a field goal with 2:18 to play and 2 timeouts. I don't get that. I don't get that decision making. All right, so 1st and 10, ball on the 10. Love in shotgun, back to his left, 2 receiving options to each side, looking to throw. Pass right side is off the mark and incomplete. Miscommunication there between him and his intended target of Dontavian Wicks. Sets up a 2nd and 10. .215 to play. Love alone in shotgun. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Going to look to throw. Has some time. Pass over the middle is incomplete. Looking for Bo Melton. Some pressure forced the pass to be short. 3rd and 10. 2nd and 10. You need at least half. Yeah, I'm sure it will, like, eventually, as like more stuff comes out. 'Cause isn't that case still going on? As Love looks to throw in 3rd and 10. Pass over the middle is caught to the 33, and pushing a little bit further to the 35 is Christian Watson. And that brings us to the 2-minute warning. Yeah, I think that whole case is still going on. I have no idea. But that was like 4 years ago now or something. Jeez. All right, 2-minute warning, heading to a commercial break. I'll quickly be right back. All right, I'm back. Go at commercial break. Yeah, like being a good player does not matter post career and all that. Like decisions made, still like have it's different than like separating the art from the artist or stuff like that. With like musicians as well, which even then there's a fine line between being able to do that and not. Like some of the stuff like Favre, Hernandez, and all this other stuff, like you can't really separate their play on the field from off the field stuff for a lot of things. Yeah, and it's like it's like with me with Rodgers, where like I loved watching him during like his prime on the Packers, but he lost so much respect for me with all of the nonsense he did post COVID, and like it tainted his legacy. Like, your actions off the field impact how you're viewed. Just simple as that. I'm not sure if anyone has had their Hall of Fame status revoked. I'm not sure if that's something that's possible. Obviously, like for some players, it should be, but I'm not sure if that is possible. Because the Hall of Fame is like very weird with how it works, and is different across all sports. Love looking to throw in 1st and 10 as we're back from commercial break. Pass over the middle, going to be incomplete. Looking for Josh Jacobs. 2nd and 10 coming up. Yeah, so in the end, in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, it is impossible for a player to get their Hall of Fame status revoked. In other leagues, it is. As Love looks to throw in 2nd and 10, pass left side is incomplete. Looking for Dontavian Wicks, would have been just at field goal range. It's 3rd and 10. Third and 10, big third down here. Love in shotgun back to his left, looking to throw. Has time, pass right side, going to be caught. And going to be a yard short. Luke Musgrave on the reception. It's a 4th and 1, and the game comes down to this. Packers go in hurry up. Love in shotgun back to his right. 2 receiving options to each side. They need the 45. Handoff up the middle for Jacobs. Penalty marker down and brought down well behind the line at the 40. What is the penalty? I saw the ref's mouth signal 5-yard penalty. It's illegal formation on the Packers. And the Eagles get the stop. And with 2 timeouts remaining, it is highly unlikely for the Packers to come back in this. Who else but Jalen Phillips being the first player in the backfield? And we head to a commercial break. Wow. And just like that, the Detroit Lions are in first place of the NFC North. Wow. This is a tough one for the Packers. They had every opportunity to win this game. Like a 10-7 final with a game that didn't have any points scored until the second half. No touchdowns until the 4th quarter. This is a tough one for the Packers, who are now, I believe, in 3rd place of the NFC North. With this loss, the Bears are ahead of them at 6-3. But that's a tough one for Green Bay. What's their schedule coming up? They have the Giants next week. Okay. Before playing, they have the Giants and then they have 3 straight divisional games. So there's still plenty of games left for the Packers to get back into like the divisional stuff, but it's gonna be a tough road having to play the Bears twice still, the Lions still have games against Denver and Baltimore. Like it's going to be a very interesting final stretch of this season for the Packers. Yeah, the Bears are 6-3. Hurts handoff up the middle for Saquon Barkley, can get about 2. Yeah, it's just the injuries to the offense have severely hurt the Packers this season. Because you get that injury to Jaden Reed very early on. Then Tucker Kraft steps up and gets into this massive offensive role. Then he goes down and is out for the season. And you needed someone to step up today and take over that role. And instead, you have a terrible offensive performance. Again, question marks about decision making, play calling. I don't know. This is one of those games for the Packers that is going to come back and bite them. Did you hear that? I don't know. There's just people outside. I don't know. Handoff up the middle for Saquon Barkley on 2nd and 8. Gets about a yard. Because like where my room is located, right outside to the right, is another like complex. So, oh, your house. I was like, yeah, there's no way. Dude, I think someone did recently laugh loud enough to where I heard it. But I was like, Mike said it should be set up in a way where it's not the case. Yeah, you can get relatively loud. Not relatively. All right, 3rd and 7, 1:18 left in the game. A first down seals it. A stop here technically gives the Packers a shot. Hurts under center, back and fullback behind him. Handoff up the middle for Saquon. Finds a lane down the right side for a yard up to the 35. Yeah, they're gonna need to snap the ball with about 23 seconds left. No, sorry, like 27 seconds left in the game. Then they kick the field goal, get it down to about 24, 23. And then you have to, and then you probably send the kickoff out the back of the end zone. Hurts in shotgun, back to his right, 2 receivers to each side, 4th and 6. And they let this play clock wind down and call their second timeout with 33 seconds to play in the half. 33 seconds left to play in the game. So out comes Jake Elliott to make this a 6-point game. There is a world where he misses this, and the Packers have 28 seconds to get back into field goal range to try and tie this game up. But Jake Elliott is a pretty reliable kicker, so I want to be banking on it. Or the Eagles will just go for it on 4th and 6. Why? Hurts in shotgun, back to his left, 2 receivers to each side. Going to look to throw. Hurts pass deep, left side. It's incomplete. What? Why? You just gave the Packers life for no reason. Kick the goddamn field goal. It's a 52-yarder. Jake Elliott hits that in his sleep. What is this decision? The same issue happened before the 2-minute warning. Take the goddamn points. You just gave the Packers so much unnecessary life. Love in shotgun back to his right. 3 receivers to the right as well, looking to throw. Stepping up, looking, passing deep. Left side, going for it, and it's incomplete for Christian Watson. He was there. He had a step, but a good play from the safety over top to bat it away. Watson had a step on his corner. The Packers need the 40-yard line. Or 42-yard line, basically. Second and 10. Love and shotgun back to his left. 3 receivers to the right. Looking to throw once again. Going to be taking a lot of deep shots. Pass over the middle is caught. To Bo Melton. Hurry up and spike it. You may have time for one quick hitter to the outside, but it's going to be... They spike it with 5 seconds. They have time for something quick to the outside to get confidently into field goal range. But it needs to be quick. Wait, you're not going to try it? All right, here we go. Brandon McManus on the field. Going for a career-long 63-yard kick? 64. A career... By the way, they trust him to hit from 64, but not from 57, whatever. A career-long 64-yard kick to tie this game and send it to overtime. Brandon McManus. If he hits this, he saves his job, basically. All right, they reset the play clock. No, the Eagles called their final timeout. Brandon McManus. Oh yeah, the Eagles were not prepared. Okay, so the try before the timeout, it was short. The try before the timeout was short by about a yard. So now if you're the Packers and you see that, do you try and do something quick? The offense is back on the field. They're going to try a quick hitter outside to get him into more confident field goal range. It's going to be a quick hitter outside. You need about 2-3 yards. But it has to be quick. You have 5 seconds. Love quick hitter right side, and it's going to be incomplete. 2 seconds remaining. Tried something quick to Dontavian Wicks. Eagles were there. Now we're going to try the kick again. So out comes McManus. 64 yards. On the iced attempt, he missed it short by about a yard. But because it was iced, he probably didn't put full effort into it. To send the game to a very improbable overtime. 64 yards, the right hash, McManus. It is up and it is blocked. It is blocked. The Eagles, despite basically handing the game to the Packers, hang on to win 10-7 and are tied for first place in the NFC as the Packers fall to third place in the NFC North. The Packers should have won this game. The final 5 minutes was the Eagles handing this game to the Packers on a silver platter. But they couldn't get out of their own way. And that's how Week 10 wraps up. Next week, Sunday Night Football, is Lions and Eagles. That's going to be a great game. This game was misplayed by both parties equally as much. This is one of those games where the correct outcome was a tie. Neither team deserved to win this one. Very similarly to Broncos Raiders. Mainly because the final 5 minutes alone is more upsetting than what happened the entire rest of the game. The Eagles completely misplayed this. But that wraps up week 10. I appreciate everyone stopping by for this. We'll be live Thursday night for the Patriots and Jets, where, you know, that's the Patriots rivalries series game. And I got that jersey right behind me. Gonna be wearing that for that game. But yep, thank you everyone for tuning in. Hope to see you all next time. Have yourselves a damn good one. Peace.